What's up, everyone? It's Sean checking in for Music Mangs. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Just arrived at the Fort Lauderdale airport, headed to Atlanta for Kanye's Donda listening event. Frank will be joining me. We'll be giving you guys the best coverage possible before, after, during the event. Stay tuned. All right, we are currently here. It's like, what time is it? Like 5:20. 5:20. Gates open at 6. We're outside the venue. We want to be there early to get any merch that's available. Yeah. Any comments?
Beyond excited. There's so much sneaker heat here too, which is always nice to see.
A lot of heat, a lot of fire, drippy clothes.
Yeah.
A lot of golf. Surprising.
A lot of golf, a lot of Yeezys.
A lot of Yeezys, yeah. All right, we're here with some Kanye fans from across the country. What are you guys looking forward to tonight?
Merch. Yeah, merch.
Seeing the man.
Seeing him in
person.
Seeing him in person. We saw his manager this morning in the Urus.
Hell yeah. And what from the album are you expecting? What kind of album?
Man,
what kind
I'm
of music?
expecting some heartbreaking music. You know, him and Kim Kardashian just got in a divorce. Oh, yeah. So he definitely going to be dropping some slangs within her and him being in prison, living there at the house with her and trying to get the kids and all. Mm-hmm. So that's about it, but yeah.
Some songs that didn't make Yandi, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that this will be a similar sound to Jesus is King or more of a return to the traditional Kanye?
It's going to be like a hybrid.
Mix of Ye. I want Ye and like I guess a little Jesus is King because that snippet was good.
All right, we're literally entering the venue right now. Oh, dude, it's smoky. It's insane. We're looking for merch. That's what we're doing right now. Trying to get merch. All right, so we just got inside the venue. How are you guys feeling right now?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great.
This shit's hard.
Yeah, in the merch line. What do you hoping's up there?
So fine shit.
I don't know. Some hoodies. I want a hoodie.
Like some shit I'm just going to sell to them little white kids.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Some little white kids buying that shit.
All right, so if you had one wish for tonight, you know, it would come true, what would it be?
Give Kanye a kiss.
Give Kanye a kiss?
Just meet them, nigga. I'm going to give him a hug, bro. Kiss him on his cheek.
Hell yeah, that's all. All right, so we are actually just leaving the stadium. We just got done listening to Donda for the first time with Mr. West, and I think a lot of our thoughts on the album are still formulating, but it was really insane. I think the production was something that stood out for both of us.
The production, I cannot explain how immaculate and like almost like transcending that it felt like, especially with all of the pianos and the organs. And then with something else that also stood out for me was the features. I feel like Ye had a lot of features which he hasn't done in a very long time, and they really, with what the album was lacking lyrically from Ye, I think they really brought that aspect of the album up. I really enjoyed everything about it. I can't complain at all right now.
I thought that the features also really stood out, and yeah, Frank and I are gonna give ourselves the walk to kind of think about the album a little bit more, and then once we get back to the hotel, we'll give some more thorough thoughts on the album. All right, what's up, guys? As promised, once we got back to the hotel, we were going to give you guys our thorough thoughts on the Donda listening party live from Atlanta. We're here. I think what we want to start off with is just like the whole experience of getting in there. So really what happened is Frank and I wanted to get there super early so that we could, get inside, get our merch, get all settled. So we showed up around like
They said
4:50.
Yeah, doors were gonna open at 6 and we got there around 4:45, 4:50.
Yeah, so there were a couple other people there, but like we were definitely like within like the first top 10, 15, 10.
Yeah, 10, 15
I'd say 10
people there.
So we wait, and eventually like a line forms, and we're getting ready to go in. And as we're waiting, there's actually like a brief sound check going on, and we just hear this like insane bass.
It was so loud, like the windows were like shaking, like the whole entire stadium was shaking, like it was insane.
Yeah, it was like it was like a movie.
It was insane. It sounded like you were in an IMAX theater and like everything was shaking.
Yeah, so that was kind of like a cool thing to like kind of hype us up as we were waiting for ourselves to get in. And then we go through security, get through the gates, and we're actually like, we're the first ones in the stadium.
Yes,
like we open the door and we're like the first ones
people
in.
there. It was crazy.
And then obviously like our goal was to try to get merch before anything sold out. If there was merch, we didn't even know if there would be merch.
Yeah, they didn't announce anything. We were hoping there was going to be merch, and it turns out there was. It was just like as soon as you walked in, the first thing you saw was the smoke coming from the actual stadium, but then like a little off to like the left there was the merch table, and it was just a single long sleeve t-shirt. It was not what I was expecting. I was hoping there was going to be like hats, hoodies and stuff, but we'll take it. I mean, you can't complain. It's merch from Kanye.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. So Frank and I get in line, and luckily, like as we said, like we were the first ones in, and like there were some other people who kind of like ran in front of us. So like we were like within like the first 20 people to like get in the merch line.
Yeah.
But as we're standing there, getting ready for the merch because they hadn't even finished setting up yet. There's just like hundreds upon hundreds of people behind us.
Yeah, the line, I would feel it. They must have waited in line for like 2 hours for the merch. Like there was so many people there, it was insane.
Yeah. So we get through the line, we go buy our merch. It's insanely overpriced, but we don't even want to talk about that.
It was way too much money for a t-shirt, for a Gildan t-shirt.
Fruit of the Loom type beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get our merch, and then we go check out the stadium. We go scope out our seats, see what we're dealing with, and then we're just walking around the stadium, kind of seeing things. Like we saw Mike Dean had posted earlier, and like he was kind of in this one section of the stadium, so we wanted to go check it out.
Yeah, it was a cool setup. It was like all the DJ soundboard stuff like that. Like I don't know, I thought it was sick.
Yeah, definitely cool, and there was a bunch of security out there. So I think Mike Dean was probably out there during the event. And then we we're looping around the stadium and we see the merch line, and we're just like, thank God we came early because people were,
yeah, no, I would not want to wait in that line.
So then we get to our seat, like we take our seats probably around like 7:30, like.
Yeah, we eventually sit down and we're like, okay, like if it's on time, at least we'll be like here to chill for a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean we're Kanye fans. So we were not expecting Kanye to be on time. Allegedly, the show was supposed to start, or the event was supposed to start at 8. 8 rolls around. There's like no sign of it starting. So we're all sitting in our seats, like waiting, and
waiting.
I think at 8 we were like, okay, like do you think over under like 9 o'clock? And we're both like over.
Yeah.
So we were thinking like over like an accurate over under would be like 9:30. So we're both like, okay, over under 9:30. 9:30 passes, and then I want to say like around 9:47, 9:50.
The lights, like it just goes like dark.
Yeah, and then the music starts playing,
and then everything is just like a blur from there. I couldn't even. It was crazy.
Yeah, people were really going crazy with that first song. I want to say like 20-30 seconds of it was played at first, and like it was a very spiritual song, very gospel song. Mm-hmm. And then Kanye enters the floor from
the far
from the
right.
tunnel, yeah,
from where we were, top right.
And it was really interesting because we were kind of like expecting some sort of stage design or something, but the floor was just completely empty. And there was a little bit, kind of like a projector.
I would say like a spotlight.
Yeah, like there was like a little spotlight, and it like shapeshifted a little bit throughout the event. But Kanye took his place within the spotlight, and he was just there, kind of vibing.
I thought he did a good job of filling like the space and like going around the stadium and entertaining the people as much as he could, because at the end of the day it's a listening, so he didn't really say or do much.
Yeah, he actually did not speak a single word.
Yeah, which was upsetting. I mean, I didn't expect it. I was hoping, like a little sliver of me was hoping that he would say something, but we still heard the music, so we can't.
And yeah, I still saw him. Like he made his way around the stadium throughout the event, just like going to be closer to people, you know, let them have a little experience with him. But yeah, I mean, the atmosphere was really cool. Just, you know, were so many people from around the country who traveled for this event, which is really special because it's not even a concert. It's an impromptu listening event, and I mean, that just shows the power of music, shows the power of, you know, the influence of Kanye.
It shows the power of Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye has some power. Who would plan this literally 2 days in advance and then be like 2 hours late to his own thing? Like,
2 hours late, and people were not even complaining. Like, I did not hear a single person complain.
No.
Like, people were antsy. They were hoping he'd come on, but no one was like, oh, like, this is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, not a single soul was complaining that they had to wait 2 extra hours to see Ye.
Yeah, everyone was really happy to be there. I mean, we talked to people from, like, Minnesota. We talked to people from North Carolina. I think some people from Florida. I mean, there were people from all over the country who traveled just to be there, which is always an awesome thing, to just be in the room with a bunch of people who are so excited and happy to be in that room and like in that moment. So that's what made the atmosphere super special. And then I think we can start diving into the music. I would say like one thing that like for myself I would preface it with is like the bass was like insane inside the stadium, and I think that it like I wouldn't say like detracted from the listening experience at all, but I definitely missed a lot of the things that I'll like go back and hear once the album hopefully comes out.
Yeah, it was kind of like listening to it in the guy's car that just has crazy, like the bass turned all the way up so you can't really hear some of the like lyrics or other parts of the production. Like, it was great. I enjoyed it. Like, the main focus for me was, for the production-wise, was a lot of the piano and the, I think it maybe an accordion. Like,
yeah, there was like an organ.
Yeah, organ,
like,
whatever.
Again, like just very like those churchy influences.
Yeah, like it was, I really enjoyed that part of the production. But like Sean said, there was a very large amount of bass that I think kind of limited to what else you could hear almost.
Yeah, like there was one point where there was like this guitar, I think it was like this guitar solo that, I mean, it sounded really cool in the stadium, but as I was in the stadium I was like, man, I can't wait to hear this like with like some normal speakers or like some normal headphones to just like hear like the different intricacies within this song.
Yeah.
But I think like something we talked about earlier, if you guys saw like our Twitter or like TikTok, is like we talked about this kind of being a cross between Yeezus, Ye, and Jesus is King, which actually now is really cool because we talked to someone earlier today and I was like asking them for their prediction on the album, and they had said like a mixture between Ye and Jesus is King. So they were kind of right about that.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I think hearing it, I saw someone post their opinion about it and said that they almost sounded like it was unfinished, and I agree with that. I mean, it's 12 o'clock right now and it didn't come out yet. I think there's a lot of raw, like it's what Ye has been doing. He's been making these immaculate sounding songs and the lyrics have been lacking, and that's what I think some of the songs lack. Like, being realistic, some of the songs lack lyrics tonight. And I think we eventually will get them in their full form, and I think they're going to be great.
There was a lot of like Kanye auto-tune crooning,
like
mumbling.
That was a little disappointing.
But besides that, I mean, I didn't think there was much that was disappointing. The features were fucking awesome.
The features were spot on.
Like, I think that's one of the most special things about Kanye is he's able to bring so many different artists into the room and just get the best out of them. And I mean, I don't think we need to explain more about that. Like, that's part of Kanye's legacy. Everyone who's a fan of him knows that he brings the best out of other artists. And we saw that with I'm trying to think who all was on this album. We had like Baby Keem, Roddy Ricch, 2 Chainz, Travis, Don Toliver. Yeah, Don Toliver actually had a feature that we couldn't tell it was him when we were in the stadium until we went back and kind of checked out on Twitter what had been posted.
Same with Jay-Z had a verse that I just did not hear.
Yeah, so that was actually funny. So we're in there and I hear this bar from Kanye. He says something along the lines of Hov and Yeezus, like Moses and Jesus.
Yeah.
And I like looked at Frank. I was like, did he just say Hov? Like, is Jay-Z gonna be on this? He's like, what?
And I'm looking at Sean like, dude, I can't even hear my own thoughts right now. Like, I have no idea what you're saying.
There's this one song that has Travis and like the beat's just insane. The feature's insane. Pusha T's on like a few at least one song.
There was a song where Pusha and he rap like
back and forth.
I enjoyed that a lot. It's like the Big Sean song with Ye from Dark Sky Paradise where they rap back and forth like that. It was really good. I forget what the song's called, but it's the same type of thing.
Content wise, like a lot of the album was very spiritual, like very similar themes to Jesus is King and Ye. Like even the bangers, like the song with Travis is like that's a hit. Like that's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be hit. It's gonna be
there were hits.
Yeah, there were definitely hits on this, but at the same time, like that song still had a lot of lyrics that were very spiritual, which I mean it seems like an evolution of like the sound that like Jesus is King was kind of a letdown, but it seems like Kanye was able to go and use those themes from Jesus is King that really are heartfelt and meaningful to him, and perfect the sounds to go along with it.
Another thing that I enjoyed is a lot of the sampling. There was a woman's voice like speech. I don't know if it was Donda, that's like Ye's mom. I don't know if it's one of his like close friends, but that came on a lot throughout the album. I know I've always been a big fan of stuff like that, like skits that kind of adds like emotion to the album, and I thought that was really cool to hear that. Like I enjoyed it. I know some people aren't fans of like music that actually like means something to people and they just want hits, but I think that's really cool and like something that he can get personal about and share with people. So I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, I also thought I think that was probably Donda, Kanye's mom, and like you could tell during those parts that Kanye was like very emotional.
Yeah.
Like Kanye, just watching him throughout he seemed very emotional. Like a lot of there were several times when he was like down on his knees or just he seemed like he had a lot of emotions going through him, and even as the last song finished, he kind of went towards the end of the stadium and just stood there and in silence. I don't know, maybe he was praying, maybe he was taking it all in, but
yeah, he stood there for like 30-40 seconds, honestly probably more than that. It was a long time just trying to kind of hanging out, taking everything in.
But yeah, it definitely seemed like a very emotional album for Kanye, which a lot of people were expecting, with it being named after his mother and obviously everything going on in his personal life. But I think this definitely exceeded my expectations.
It blew my expectations out of the water. After Jesus is King, I did not know what to expect. I didn't listen to any of like the Nike commercials beforehand. I went into this thing not hearing a single like snippet, and it blew me out of the water. I'm a sucker for production. I love good sounding production. I love hip hop, soul samples. I love those types of beats. And it wasn't soul sample anymore. It was just a lot of the piano, and I absolutely loved the sampling. It killed it. Production was on fire, and that's what really stood out to me on the album.
And I think that now, knowing that, after going on Twitter and seeing these different parts of the album that we kind of missed while we were live, the fact that the production stood out, it's promising because we missed out on a lot of the album.
Yeah.
So it can only be better.
Exactly.
Once it comes out, if the production is what we really got to focus on while we were listening to it there, and I'm sure the rest of the album in terms of the vocal performances, the intricacies of the production are going to be really awesome.
I think the biggest Kanye fan on the Mangs. I'm a huge Kanye head. He's one of, if not my favorite artists. So I know I just tried to soak it all in and enjoy the experience. It was something that I will never ever forget, no matter what happens. And it was a great, great night. Absolutely amazing night.
I don't think I can say it any better than Frank
like
just did.
it's insane. It's still mind-boggling. Sorry, I'm like a little starstruck right now, but it's still mind-boggling.
Do you have any other comments on the album or the experience?
I mean, I know it's gonna sound kind of cheesy, but like, I know me and my friend Evan Brooks in like 9th grade were like, "Yo, if he ever goes like on tour again, like we gotta go see him." And as soon as I saw the notification on my phone, I was like, "Dude, I'm fucking doing it! Like, let's go! Like right now!" Like zero hesitation. And I texted Sean. So it's just been a really awesome, like exciting couple days. Like this has been the experience. Is awesome. I could not be any more happy with what happened and how it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful that Frank hit me up and was interested in going and was able to secure tickets, and we were able to pull this off because it's definitely something I'll always remember. Something I'll tell my grandkids about. You know, remember when I got to listen to Donda for the first time with Kanye.
It was like, oh, that old thing. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but anyways, thank you guys for checking in with us throughout this whole event. We had a great time covering it, and stay tuned for more from us because we've got a lot more coming for you.
See you guys.
Peace.